rights, privileges, powers, and opportunities associated with this high and holy calling. Brother Stanley, we bless you and your family, that you'll be protected and that you'll have at your command all the resources that you need to perform as bishop.
Remember the day when the mantle of bishop fell upon your shoulders? I remember. It didn't take long for me to learn that there are 5 separate areas of responsibility. As the bishop, you are the presiding high priest in the ward. You are president of the Aaronic priesthood. You administer the finances, records, and properties of the church. You serve as a common judge. And you care for the needy. Each of these responsibilities is important. During this training, we will concentrate on just one of these responsibilities, caring for the needy.
To look at him, you'd never know Brother Park has had some difficult financial setbacks. He needs help. But when I asked him to turn to his family, he was too embarrassed. 허영재님, he and his wife claim they don't want certain members of the family to know about their condition. Yet I think the family would help if they were asked. Should I help him?
Whom should I help? At some time in his experience, every bishop asks himself this question.
A sister came into my office the other day, and let's just say she was very direct. She informed me that she had no food, no money, and she couldn't pay her rent. She insisted the church pay all her bills. She claimed her former bishop helped her, and it was my duty to help her now. I asked myself, how can I help this person? Or better still, how could we have prevented the problem in the first place?
Though you may not have experienced each of the problems presented here, you can probably relate to most of them. By using this study guide and the dramatizations presented in the remaining portions of this presentation, you'll learn revealed principles. You'll learn how to help your members prevent need, how to seek out and care for the needy, and how participating in the Stake Bishops' Welfare Council can help you in caring for the needy. In its simplest form, welfare service is people doing all they can to help themselves, inspired bishops, and willing hands and hearts. A bishop will do all he can to help his members prevent need in their lives. In joint efforts with the priesthood quorums and the Relief Society, he will teach correct principles, foster self-reliance, and encourage generous giving. One of the best places to teach these principles is in the Ward Welfare Services Committee meeting. Thank you. Now, let's have your individual reports. Let's begin with the high priest, Brother Reese.
Well, if you followed through with the Forbes family, I don't think I have anything else to report, Bishop.
They just did away with my job. 22 years with the company and I'm out of a job, just like that.
Okay. Brother Gledhill, the elders.
We don't have anything to report, Bishop.
Well, I don't know if my dad will be there on Sunday to ordain me.
Why's that?
Well, he works a second job on Sundays to pay off some bills.
Sister Martin, how about the Relief Society?
With the exception of Sister Johansson, who's had some illness. I think everyone is doing well.
Sometimes I feel like such a failure. Without more training, I can't get a job that pays enough to get by.
Brothers and sisters, for some time now, I've been feeling like we may be fooling ourselves if we think we don't have welfare need in this ward. We may have conditioned ourselves to think that welfare is the bishop giving money or food. I think it may be much more than that. Isn't it living wisely in our circumstances and dealing with problems before they happen, not after? If you could just sit in this chair for 1 week, you'd realize we do have welfare need. We just haven't paid the price yet to find out what those needs are. We prevent need by teaching our people to take care of themselves and their families and to help those that are less fortunate. Let me share something with you. The other night, I was visiting with a couple in the ward that has received some welfare assistance and is struggling to overcome some recent setbacks. As they left, I realized 2 things. First, it's far less painful to prevent problems than to live with them once they've begun. And second, a bishop must have the help of all ward leaders. Each of us can make a valuable contribution. The principles are simple. The question is, how do we apply them so that they help the members of this ward? I don't know all the answers, but there are answers. And the answers will come to the members themselves as they apply the principles of the gospel. To begin, will each of you get to know your people better? Look for ways to help them before their concerns become welfare problems.
And so, brothers, what we're interested in is what you consider to be your major welfare challenges and those of your home teaching families. If you'll just answer these questions and don't worry about putting your name on the page and just hand it in at the end of the meeting.
We've been teaching our sisters to render compassionate service, but we need to go a step further. Let's consider our sisters individually and talk about the needs we're already aware of.
Will you contact Brother Dahl? I think he may be able to help us set up some interviews for Brother Sampson.
Okay.
Yeah, that should about do it. Thank you. You know, the bishop was right. I think we may have been taking this responsibility too lightly.
Amen.
Thank you, Sister Martin. Well, I'm eager to hear about the progress you've made. President Gledhill, what do the elders have to report?
Well, Bishop, some exciting things have happened. After our last welfare meeting, we asked the brethren to answer some questions, and their comments really opened our eyes. Several of the brethren have very little savings, and others are living beyond their means. They get by as long as everything goes well, but I don't think they could miss a paycheck without hurting. So we held a quorum workshop on money management and encouraged the brethren to increase their savings and manage their money more carefully. Several of the brethren have already started, and some have made plans to reduce their debts.
Wonderful. Brothers and sisters, this is a good example of a family becoming self-reliant. Well done. Brother Reese, what are the high priests doing?
Well, after our last welfare meeting, we interviewed a number of our brethren and discovered that many of them are unable to adapt to the changing job market. Some have no skills they could fall back on if they were suddenly to lose their jobs.
I'm not so convinced.
As you know, Brother Dahl works in personnel management. We asked him to help us train our home teachers to talk to the brethren and assess their career prospects. They're already working with Brother Sampson. He hasn't found a job yet, but he has a good prospect. And with the help of Brother Dahl and the home teachers, Brother Sampson is working on a plan that will give him good job security between now and retirement.
Great. Sister Martin?
When we prayed about your challenge, Sister Paige kept coming into our minds. She slipped and fell, trying to do her own housework. Her visiting teacher suggested a plan to care for her that we think will give many ward members a chance to help. We really learned that when people give to others in personal ways, they help themselves and it brings families closer together.
I think that's a great example of how members prevent problems in their own lives by giving generously to others. In fact, I've been thinking I need to encourage the members to give more generously through fast offerings. The Young Men's president and I will work out a plan to involve the Aaronic priesthood in this effort. It looks like we're beginning to catch a vision of what we can do. I'm especially excited to see things happening in the homes. That's where problems are prevented. Let's make preventing problems a way of life in this ward. The Lord will bless our efforts. Well done, brothers and sisters. Carry on. Real pleased to have you in the ward. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. See you Sunday? In part 2, we'll see the importance of seeking out the poor and needy and ministering to their needs. While we're here, let's go see Sister Miller.
Okay.
As bishop, you have a direct charge from the Lord to seek out and care for the needy, and you'll be led by the Spirit. Many others will assist you, but the responsibility rests on your shoulders.
Hey, gotta get this picked up. Danny, gotta get these crayons put away, okay? Hey.
Hi, Sister Miller.
Oh, hi, Bishop. I didn't expect...
Oh, we're sorry to drop by uninvited, but could we come in for a few moments?
Well, I haven't had a chance to clean up yet, but you're
That's okay.
welcome to come in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Many times, people won't voluntarily come to you with their problems. Hi, boys.
Hi.
We won't stay long, but we haven't seen you for a while, and we're wondering how you were getting along.
Oh, we have our ups and downs, but we're all right. Gary, have you started your homework yet? Gary!
You have to be ever so sensitive to watch, to listen, and to act. Sometimes the most important clues won't be spoken.
These kids.
I'm sure it's frustrating trying to rear a family alone.
It is. I've never felt so inadequate. Even the smallest things seem overwhelming. Just trying to get the kids ready for church and get myself off to work. It's almost more than I can handle lately.
Mom, can I go with you today? I don't want to go to the babysitter.
Oh, you'll be fine when we get there.
What's wrong, Mom?
I don't know.
Dad said he is scared I'll bang on something.
I'm really worried that I may lose my job if I don't get there on time. I've been working Saturdays and some nights trying to make a little extra money, but that's really taking a toll on me and the kids. I just wasn't ready for all this, Bishop.
By acting on promptings of the Spirit, you as a bishop will discover a need and then move on to the next step. I thought a lot about our visit the other day. Have you been getting any financial support from Rob or his family?
Well, he's been really inconsistent. Lately, he hasn't given me anything at all.
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is ask Rob for help. If he's not helping the family financially, then we need to visit with him and try to remind him of his responsibility to the children. Next is your family. Can they help?
Well, my dad's retired and my mom's been quite ill, so I don't think that they're in any position to offer any support right now.
What about brothers and sisters?
I have a brother in Rosemont, but he has his own problems.
Deciding how and when to help is one of your most challenging responsibilities. In your efforts to help, never lift the responsibility from the individual. The minute you do, you cease to help. After analyzing the circumstances, you move to the next step, to discern by the Spirit how you should help. Barbara, the Lord's plan for helping you involves your entire family. I want you to call your brother. Even if he can't help financially, there may be other ways that he can help.
I'm a little embarrassed. Could you call him?
I could, but I feel that you're the one who needs to do it. I'm impressed that this is the direction we should go.
Okay, try it.
You don't know how much it means not to have to worry about this car. I mean it. Thank you.
You should have called me before. When you first got separated, I felt so helpless. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how.
I know.
Thanks for giving me a chance.
Involving Barbara's brother ensured growth toward self-reliance and strengthened family relationships. In addition to the needy person's own efforts and any assistance from the family, you, the bishop, may render basic life-sustaining assistance. We'll provide food for a period of time. If you'll bring your utility bill, the ward clerk and I'll see that it's paid out of fast offering funds. Then you can use your cash to pay the rent. I'll ask the Relief Society president to visit your home and help you make a list of the basic food and clothing items you need. I'll review the order with her. We'll also ask the Relief Society to help us work on some ideas that may be helpful to you in satisfying longer-term needs. Barbara, in offering this help, I would also like to make a work assignment so that you can earn what you receive. I asked Sister Martin to suggest work that I might assign you. She mentioned that the drapes in the chapel are soiled and need mending. I'll have them cleaned, but would like you to mend them. This service will give you an opportunity to earn the assistance you receive. Sister Martin can help us work out the detail.
I'm grateful that I can earn what I receive. I want to be self-reliant, to know that I can provide for myself and my children as I should.
I was also strongly impressed that if Gary had more responsibility, then he'd feel better about himself and would be more helpful to you.
I wish I knew what to do for him.
I think you know Brother Stanger in the ward.
Mm-hmm.
He's the meeting house custodian, and he needs a little extra help. He's excellent with boys. He's reared 6 of his own. Would you feel all right about me giving Gary a work assignment to help him?
I think that'd be a good idea. Thank you.
Involving Gary means that all able-bodied members of the family are helping meet your family's needs. That'll be important for Gary's growth. We'll help you in rearing him, and we'll help Brother Stanger. I know the Lord will be pleased with that arrangement. In Part 3, we'll see bishops participating in the Stake Bishops' Welfare Council. They meet here to learn their duties, to explore ways of helping members prevent need in their lives, and to ensure that welfare assistance is rendered in ways that restore the needy to self-reliance. Bishop Davis has only been a bishop for 3 months. He is here to attend his first Stake Bishops' Welfare Council meeting. Well, how's the new bishop?
Just fine, thank you, but busy. How long do these meetings usually last?
Oh, that depends on what we talk about. But I think you'll find these meetings are well worth the time. I've been a bishop for nearly 3 years now, and they've been of great value to me. I can still remember my first Bishops' Council meeting. We had just completed a tour of community resources in our area, trying to determine if we could refer members of the church to any of these facilities. Our final visit was to a rehabilitation center. The administrator was good enough to let us hold our meeting in the building after the tour. Without using names, I told the other bishops about a man in my ward who refused to work for assistance. The bishop before me had given the family a lot of financial help. I was really confused and unsure about what I should do. In the few minutes we spent discussing the case in Bishops' Council, I felt prompted to do something I hadn't thought of before. The solution involved early morning seminary. Because of long distances, we had difficulty getting students to seminary.
Good morning. Morning. How are you today?
In that Bishops' Council meeting, I was prompted to assign this brother who wouldn't accept a work assignment to drive the seminary students. I was delighted when he agreed. He would sit and wait until seminary was over and then drive the students where they needed to go. This service and association with the youth began to change his attitude. He has since accepted other work assignments. Of course, it didn't happen overnight, but the first step was the prompting I received in my very first Bishops' Council meeting.
So, in a way, the Bishops' Council solved the problem for you.
No, the council didn't solve the problem. More experienced bishops helped open my eyes to new possibilities, and the Spirit prompted me to know what to do. That's really how the Bishops' Council has helped me. Shall we move to the other end? Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Well, let's begin with a word of prayer.
Pray, Father, that thou will also bless Bishop Davis in a special way this night and throughout the days of the rest of the day.
We have these discussion items on the agenda. Making appropriate work assignments, how the Relief Society president helps the recipient determine commodity needs, encouraging more generous fast offerings, and Bishop Davis would like to discuss a difficult case. Let's begin with your item, Bishop Gibson.
I have a question about assigning work to my ward members that are on assistance. Can we spend a few minutes on that?
Certainly. What is it?
Well, can I assign work to a welfare recipient to help him learn new skills or to become more self-reliant? In other words, can the work assigned be kind of a job training so that we can prevent this need in the future?
Good question. Are there any other questions? Because you bear the sole mandate to care for the needy, and because your ward is different from any other, you will encounter many unique welfare challenges for which there are no prescribed solutions. Like these bishops, you have an opportunity to attend a stake bishops' welfare council where bishops pose questions, discuss possible alternatives, share successful methods, and discover, by the Spirit, appropriate answers to pressing needs. That has really been helpful.
Yes, thanks.
Now, Bishop Davis, you wanted to discuss a specific case. Is this something you'd like us to keep confidential?
Yes, please. This case has been very difficult for me. I'm not sure what the solution is, but any ideas would be greatly appreciated. I have a sister in my ward who is 23 years old. She was injured about 10 years ago and has been nearly helpless since. The doctors say there's no medical reason why she can't live a more normal life. Her mother is widowed and they live alone. The daughter is almost completely dependent upon the mother, and the mother feels she needs additional financial help to support herself and her daughter. It's becoming more difficult for the mother to handle her. She refuses treatment and won't make any efforts on her own to get better. She resents any suggestion from me that she could do more to help herself. It's one of the most frustrating things I've ever experienced.
Well, that is a problem. It seems to me that the mother may be contributing to the problem. Sometimes we make it more rewarding for others to depend on us rather than stand on their own feet. Do you think you could help the mother to be a little less available?
Yes, I'll think about that. Thank you.
Perhaps if you could get the daughter engaged in something productive, maybe a form of service work or something to earn a little money, and she might develop a desire to do more for herself. Does she have any real interests?
Not that I know of. I like your idea, but I doubt that she'd try it.
I once struggled with a similar situation. It consumed a lot of my time. The person I was trying to help just wouldn't make any personal effort or commitment. Finally, my Relief Society president suggested that we involve someone in the stake who had experience in the matter. The problem's never gone away completely, but things are certainly improved.
Could we talk more about that after the meeting?
Certainly.
Thank you. This council meeting has been a very helpful experience. As you shared your ideas, I felt a stirring within me. And now I know what I need to do next.
Thy Spirit, Lord, has stirred our souls, and by its inward shining glow, we see anew our sacred goals, and feel thy nearness here below. No burning bush near Sinai could show thy presence, Lord, more nigh. Did not